What's up, everybody? This is your boy OG from OGRC Drag Racing. I was just sitting here thinking back when I first put my car down on the track and decided to see what could I do. I wanted to get into one of the big races, and I wanted to see what I could do. Now, the trick was for me that I hadn't really had much practice. I didn't have any experience, and this would be my very first race. I never raced before a day in my life. I never even seen one of those tree lights. So, where did I go? I wound up going to Las Vegas King of the Streets 2022. That was the race that Samantha Jones had won, and Tom Rockwell and all of them was out there, the R1 team. And yes, I was a part of that drag race. I was out there, and you notice, you look at how I took off. My car took off later. The other car took off way before me. I guess I was sitting at the light sleep. I didn't make it to the next round, but I stayed there all 3 days, and I had a heck of a good time. I met so many people, and people were so friendly, and the R1 DC1 car proved itself. That was one fast car. Samantha Jones did her thing, and Tom Rockwell on that motor setup and the timing setup and that ESC setup, with the programming and everything he did to it, that was one fast car. And in fact, I would recommend the R1 to anyone. Because right now it's affordable and the parts are plentiful. The R1 chassis with that R1 electronic system and battery, you can't go wrong. R1 was selling for about $350 on sale. So go onto the website, check it out, and find out what the price is. But I know it's on sale at a very, very sweet price. And that's a nice car to get into the professional level. But if you're planning on doing any big event, I would definitely tell you to make sure you have the right stuff that you would need to be able to participate in that race. You better make sure you got you a pit table, make sure you got yourself a charger, make sure you got yourself extra tires, even take you a soldering station or soldering iron, whichever one you might have. Be sure you got your tools, be sure you got your battery meter, battery charger. Be sure you got extra car parts. Be sure you got cash on hand in case if they don't take debit card or credit card. Be sure you got extra water. I ain't had nothing. I just brought my car and got on the plane with a charger. But the charger was in the hotel because I didn't have no way to hook it up. I ain't had no table. I'm walking around with my car. When they said, okay, they called me up. The race when it was my time. I went up to the line, they had to check the battery and everything. They said, oh, well, your battery's a little low. I said, well, maybe my car won't flip over this time. The guy said, drivers, watch the light. So my daughter and my wife and all, they was cheering down there because that was the first time I even made it all the way to the end. From one end of the track to the next, my first time. So they said, oh, you made it. Well, I didn't make it to the next round. I lost, I didn't make it to the next round, but that was all right because my thing was I wanted to be in a race. I wanted to participate, and I did just that. The most winning part is when you can talk to people and get information. Don't be afraid to talk to the people because the people will talk to you and get that information. And I would highly recommend anybody, if you really want an inexpensive drag racing professional level car, it's a good idea to hit R1 up like right now because I've been seeing a lot of sales going on with their stuff and they be having some nice decent sales. So right now, if you want to get into a professional level and get out of that entry mid-level drag race car, go over to R1. But what I'm hearing, if you want a fast car, Tom Rockwell is going to have a DC1 chassis base built off of the stuff that he's coming out with. So he's coming out with some good stuff in 2024. So we're going to stay on the lookout for that. Now, it's not going to be for everybody. We're talking about super professional pro level race drag car 1/10 scale?
I'll start off by saying this car is not going to be for your average person. You know what I mean? It's really not even aimed to be at your average person. It's not a cheap build by any means, but every part on the car is refined to be what I think is the best. You know, and as far as it's the base platform's an R1 DC1. The R1, it's a DC1 with a 4mm lightweight chassis. We do the lightweight transmission. I have the brace kit and motor plate that we build for it. Works out really nice. The shocks have bump stops. It's all limited. The lightweight titanium axles. I just did a kit of the parts that I'm making and the parts that, it's got all clinic titanium hardware and stuff like that. And so I put together a screw kit for it that's just the screws for this car and all the turnbuckles. It's got 4.8mm ball studs, just all super lightweight stuff. The car actually weighs, with the 9000 R1 battery, which is a 500-gram battery basically. Car weighs 2130 with the body, and that's with a 78-gram front bumper. The kit to build it yourself, we're going to be somewhere between 2000 and 2200. As far as slider form goes, like me putting it together, it's going to be somewhere around 27 probably.
Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe, and you have been tuned in to OGRC Drag Racing, and I'm OG.